Hi, my name is Reagan Allen. I'm with the Martin G. James Center for Academic Renewal, and I am sitting down with James Robbins, and he is Dean of Academics at the Institute of World Politics and Senior Fellow in the National Security Affairs at the American Foreign Policy Council. It's good to speak with you today. How are you?
Oh, hi, Reagan. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. And I will just start with some questions. I would love for you to just start with how you got into the IWP and its start.
Sure. Well, I'm a longtime academic. My background is in national security affairs. I have a PhD from the Fletcher School. I worked for 10 years in the Defense Department in various educational programs, mainly dealing with counterterrorism and counterinsurgency. I taught at the Marine Corps University and at National Defense University, and have taught at other schools along the way. I was kind of in the orbit of IWP for a while. I had a lot of friends here, people in common. I would come here and lecture occasionally. I signed on here as a part-time professor, teaching some courses, and then there was an opening in the deanship, and they asked me, since I had previously been a dean at the National Defense University, they asked me if I would like to take over that role on a part-time basis to fill in. And they liked me so much, they just kept me here.
Awesome. And what sets apart IWP from other universities or graduate programs?
Well, IWP is it's an independent accredited graduate school of national security, intelligence, and international affairs. It was founded in 1990 by Dr. John Linchowsky, who was on Ronald Reagan's National Security Council as his Soviet and East European advisor, and other Reagan administration officials. And the idea was to have a school that gave a real sense of the realities of national security and international affairs, not some of the illusions that other schools taught, but really to get to the ground truth of how does government work, what is national security, what are the types of countries and challenges that we face in the world. You know, the real reality of it, looking at totalitarian systems versus freedom and those types of things. The school is very grounded in American founding values and the Western moral tradition. That's in our charter. It's something that every professor who teaches here has to sign on to. So we have a definite perspective here at IWP. We come at things not just from a realistic perspective, but also from a values perspective, supporting those values that represent the American founding and also the Judeo-Christian Western tradition in general.
hmm I'm actually named after Ronald Reagan, so I'm sure my dad would be thrilled that I'm doing this interview. Um, but why is a IWP important for this country and specifically in this day and age?
Well, IWP is important because what we're seeking to do is create leaders in national security who have a very broad perspective in terms of the different tools available for national security leaders, and also a perspective in terms of what they're defending when they go into government or other government related activities, defending freedom in the world, defending American values in the world and at home. So we don't teach people from a value neutral standpoint. We try to teach them in a way that when they go into government, they really have a compass. They have something that's guiding them in what they're doing. They're not just careerists who are there to get a paycheck or to seek to their own personal advancement. IWP is very focused on the concept of duty, selfless service, that kind of thing. I mean, if you're going to go into government, you should really be working for the American people, and you should be working for the American project, you know, the country that advances freedom in the world. So that's really our mission, is to put these people in positions of responsibility where they can do good things. Right now, I think there are two people on President Trump's National Security Council who are IWP graduates. And we have other people who have been affiliated with IWP throughout the government. And some of them are like full-time career people, not political appointees, but career people in the intelligence community, in the Defense Department. Some are uniformed military, some are diplomats. We have a lot of people. And it's just this network of good people doing good things.
Mhm. My next question was actually, what do most students set off to do after graduation? But you kind of answered that. Is there any other examples, or did you cover it?
Well, we have different types of students. Some students come to us directly from their undergraduate institution and they're seeking like an MA to go and do something. And it could be in diplomacy at the State Department, the Foreign Service, could be the defense realm, a variety of things. We also have mid-career professionals, people who come to us who may be already working in government or working in the private sector, who want to have, maybe they didn't get a master's, they want to do that, or maybe they want a doctorate. We also have doctoral degrees. And so they're seeking ways to push their career along. So it really depends on which type of student we're getting. But it's very broad in terms of where people go. Diplomacy, defense, intelligence, some go into development. We have economics, we have energy, we have cyber. We run the gamut really in terms of our instruction, and we're always increasing our courses and our certificates and our areas of focus to try to meet the demands of the government and the economy and just where things are going.
Mhm. And statecraft is a word that we don't hear much about today. Tell me what statecraft means at IWP, please.
Well, at IWP, statecraft means using all of the instruments of national power to achieve the national goals of the country. When people think about national security, they kind of default to defense. They think of it in terms of blowing things up or, people in uniform bombs or, taking out Iran's nuclear program, that kind of thing. But in reality, it's much broader. There's the diplomatic angle, there's the economic angle, there's the intelligence angle, information, a variety of other things. And so, what we try to teach at IWP in regards to statecraft is the integration of all of those different elements of national power towards a strategic goal. This is something that Dr. Linchowski inculcated in the school from the beginning because he saw that working very effectively during the Reagan administration in their strategy to take down the Soviet Union. It wasn't just a military strategy. In fact, we won that without going to war with the Soviet Union. We won it through other means, diplomatic means, economic means. Yes, there was military pressure through deterrence and there was an arms race, but there were also arms limitations and negotiations. It was a very wide ranging type of strategy. And so, in that tradition, IWP tries to teach how you harness all of these different elements when you're facing a future challenge. Say it's Iran, or it could be communist China, or Russia, or whomever, whatever adversary, whatever contingency, to use all the tools at your disposal.
Mhm. And what is most fulfilling for you in your position at IWP?
Oh, well, people think being a dean is just like, you go from professor to dean and it's like the next step up, but actually it's a lot of paperwork, I have to say, being a dean. But it is very fulfilling. I think the best part of it for me is the new program development. I love coming up with new ideas, new things to teach, new ways to reach people or get people involved with IWP. I think the biggest project in my 3 years here so far has been our online learning project, where we have put all of our courses into an online format. And, that's so that we can reach a wider audience. There are people all over the world who take IWP courses. And we've put together very high quality, very good production value type online courses. They're exceedingly popular. People have been signing up a lot. It's been growing a lot. I'm very happy about that. I'd say that's my most fulfilling thing that I've done. In the meantime, I'm doing things like teaching and writing and doing my academic paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But it's just a great job. It's probably the best job I've ever had.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And I know you mentioned the online programs. Are there any other programs on the horizon that aren't out yet that may be coming out in the next few years?
Oh, gee. Well, we have a variety of, we have our in-person and online courses. We just have launched a new doctoral program. We introduced four new doctoral degrees, two online, two in person. So very excited about that. We're coming up with another doctoral program that's aimed specifically at military members, like officers or other military who maybe got educated in war colleges or other military education, so they can then transition into a doctoral program with us. We're looking at doing the same thing for the State Department for people with that background. We have a new cyber certificate that we've been doing that's really a cutting edge look at the policy side. I mean, it's not like the technical side about how to code, it's about the policy side and how do you deploy cyber as a weapon and how do you defend against cyber and how do you use it for intelligence. I mean, it's all really interesting. We're working on an economic program that looks at those elements of power. There's just all kinds of things that we're doing here. And part of it is because we have a great faculty. Everybody on the faculty is a scholar practitioner. They've done the things that they teach. So it's not some abstract thing of, theories and stuff. I mean, there's a place for that in academics, and I get that. But IWP's focus is on reality. So all of our people here are a former something where they were doing something in the government or in the national security space, and now they're coming to IWP to teach the reality of it. And it's great to hang out with these people because they're some of the most interesting folks you'll ever meet.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. And I'm just curious, do you guys implement AI at all in the program or use it?
Well, AI is controversial in academic circles because, of course, we don't want our students to just be using AI for writing their papers. So, I mean, our first sort of approach to AI is defensive, like, please don't write your papers using ChatGPT or, things like that. But we have tools that can help detect that. With respect to the positive side of AI, we're using it for our online program, helping us produce our video content and some of our other content like that, to make it more engaging, more interesting. There are all kinds of text to video or text to music or other kinds of interesting AI tools that you can use where you get a much richer environment in terms of the video interface on those courses. So it's not just someone sitting there giving you a lecture for, 30 minutes or something. It's a much more interactive space. And so we've really leaned in on that because it's really a level playing field. If there are other schools that are bigger than us or, have more money than we do or whatnot, but in that online space, everybody's pretty much equal. And so the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And we found some of these new AI tools for that kind of production are extremely good. They are cost saving, they are time saving, and they increase our production values immensely.
I know AI just came out a few years ago, so it'll be interesting to see how much it grows because I feel like it's grown already so much. And my last question is, what would you tell potential students that might join IWP or anything you'd like to tell anyone about IWP?
Well, it's a great school. I mean, I know I work here, but it really is a great school. The people here are super friendly. Something that I found with a lot of incoming students or even staff and faculty is that they comment on the sense of family and the sense of bonding that we have here. It's really a community when you come to IWP. You're really joining like-minded people who are focused on a mission. Uh, I mean, it's a very low drama place. Everybody gets along. We don't have like protest encampments or any kind of crazy stuff like that. I mean, no, because these are serious people here, not a bunch of radicals. These are people who want to actually do something with their lives. And so there's that great kind of bonding that you get out of that sense of purpose and emphasis. So that's one really good reason to come to IWP. And the another really good reason for students is getting to know our faculty because, as I said, our faculty members, they're all former something. They've all done something in their lives and in their careers. And so through the interaction with them, you really get a sense of like what your future career might be, or what it's actually like to be on the National Security Council, what it's like to be an intelligence operative in another country, doing secret stuff, or what it's like to work in the Pentagon or the White House or on Capitol Hill. So that's a really great part of it. And another great part is our job placement rate is around 97%. So people who come here tend to get employment in the area that they're seeking, because our people who work that in the employment portfolio, the career services people, are excellent at what they do. And we have networks all over town. So we can help place people, get them where they need to go. And, that's our mission, because we don't see it as like you just come here and graduate and then goodbye, you're out of here. No, we want you to go out and succeed and, do good things out there, and then feed back to us, send us good people, send us recommendations, come back and speak at the school about what you've done. So there's a really tight alumni community as well.
Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds like you're doing great work. I really appreciate that the professors are also professionals in the field. I think that would be really helpful for any school, honestly. And I really appreciate you speaking with me and getting to learn about the school.
Oh, well, thanks, Reagan. I appreciate it too. Tell your dad, about our school. I'm actually writing a book about Ronald Reagan right now for
You.
the Naval Institute Press. So, there's a lot of Reagan in the air.
Yeah, I'm sure my dad will read it and I might have to pick up a copy as well.